So I've found a few tools that are just absolute time savers. And the number one tool as a professional rotational grazer, a guy that handles a lot of hot wire, is something like this. This is a Gallagher brand. I like them because they're bright orange. They're pretty tough. I, I don't I try to take care of my stuff as much as possible, but this thing gets beat up. It sits in my fanny pack, gets thrown around in the car, bounced around, and whatever I'm riding in sits in my pocket. It has been an absolute dream of a tool. And so what it does is it will actually show you the direction of the fault, and then it'll also show you how many kilovolts you've got. So for cattle, I like to have about at least 6,000 kilovolts. Grandpa always said 2.5, but we were always hunting for cows. So 6,000, I'm pretty comfortable there. Anything over 6, I'm pretty happy with, and I definitely want to shut that fencer off before I go out there and touch it, that fence off. The tool that I love to pair this with is this set of Knipex or Nipex, however you say it, linesman's pliers. I do want to get a pair of the mini bolt cutters for putting in high tensile wire, but I don't have a pair yet. I usually cut them with these, but it is damaging the teeth a little bit, so I might try those mini bolt cutters. But it's definitely a buy once, cry once on both of these tools. I like this one's painted bright orange because I think they're over $100 now, and I think these Knipex linesman's pliers are up there around 50, 60 bucks. So they're excellent tools. They definitely speed me up. So what we've got here is we've got a perimeter fence, just kind of a strip. It's 5-wire perimeter fence, and the landlord came across a good deal on some brake cable, and it works really well. He's got it around all the rest of the farm sitting on fiberglass posts, but we've got some steel posts in here, and also this one is hot, dead. And so even if we didn't have the steel posts, it could still be, kind of an issue. And I don't think he ever honestly turned it on. I don't know. But what happens over time is the deer run through this fence, and when they do, they fray that cable. And it's not a big deal, but it's just the size of a hair, one of those little sheds of cable. I'll turn you around and show you. And so every time I come through here, you can see I've got a post mark in this one. I don't know if I need to tape it up or glue it up or what I need to do, but there is a spot here that I usually have an issue with if I'm having a spot. But I use that fault finder to point out where my issue is, and this job would probably take me 2 or 3 hours to find it if I didn't have this tool right here. And it just really does save me a lot of time. I remember as a kid just having a screwdriver and some T-posts, and you'd just be popping it and hoping that was hot enough to hold the cows in. But that's an excellent tool, excellent upgrade, and the pointer on it saves you hours. I mean, if you figure a man in a four-wheeler at 50 bucks an hour, I don't know how much money I've saved just owning that one tool. And then I've used some other linesman's pliers. I like to keep the linesman's pliers on my, it's goofy, but I have a little fanny pack here that I ride around on my four-wheeler. I'll throw it over my shoulder if I got to walk a ways. And I have this, and I have a Gerber fiberglass handled hatchet or plastic handled hatchet or whatever for tapping back in T-posts or cutting limb off a tree or hammering in posts, whatever. It's not the best tool for the job, but it's the tool that I carry, and it's light, and it hangs on this fanny pack. So I'll include a picture of that. I've got a couple of baskets on my four-wheeler now, so my kit's expanding, but anybody could put together a set of tools like this. I had a pair of, I believe, Crescent brand linesman's pliers, and I think the teeth on them are just as good. I've been cutting high tensile wire with them. Like I said, I need to get the mini bolt cutters. You can see I'm damaging the teeth on this cutting high tensile wire with it, but it's the tool you got. So but you could get other brands, but I had a cut in one of the others. The insulating handle just kind of wore out, and I didn't realize it, and I touched the wire, and I got 7,000 volts there, and put me on my knees, and that was enough of that. We went back to carrying these, and I got a better sheath for them, better case, so I don't lose them. I wasn't carrying them because I was scared of losing them because they're like 50, 60 bucks. So anyway, I'm gonna flip you around. I'll show you what I'm dealing with here, and it's here. It works really good. It carries a good conductivity, but I do have to check this one line here. It's the only piece of the property I think that's got steel in it where that cable can jump off and touch. And the deer running through it, and they fray it just enough, And what happens is it connects this live wire to that dead wire, or that live wire to that dead wire, something like that. Or the piece I just found was actually popping off of an insulator. It just frayed about that much, and it was popping off of an insulator on the steel post. So I'll flip you around. I'll show you what we got. Baby calves are running. We just turned them into here. So it's just a beautiful evening. Appreciate you guys sticking along. Like, subscribe, follow for more. Let me know if you have any questions on this. So this is what we've got, and I don't know if you can see. Oh, this camera's not gonna do me any justice here, folks. But yeah. Oh, man, I won't stick my finger down here. I will get shocked. Come on. Don't do it. Yeah, so you can see these little bitty frays. And they're, I mean, you know, the size of a mechanical pencil lead, and they're hard to see, but even that little piece of metal, it was really shocking to me. That little piece of metal just, they'll come around and touch there, and I've got these shortened up a little so they can't do it. And I've got this here so the deer, well, I remember where this is at, but the deer won't jump through. But yeah, so having a tool like this Gallagher fault finder, total game changer. Just to be able to point out the issues, and I can't even make it short here anymore to tell you, but this is what this thing shows. Yeah, so we're back up to 6.6 kilovolts, 1.4 amps. I don't worry too much about anything less than 15, and I've seen 18 just be caused by green grass. So we're hot. It's going to hold the calves, going to hold the cows, and it was just popping right here. Right there was a little piece frayed, and it was just popping right there, and you can't hear it after it sits there for a while. So sometimes I'll shake the fence too if I can't find it. Little booger's still popping. Popping on that multi-floor rose. We're gonna let it keep working at that. Anyway, it's pretty cool. As far as what we're packing around, this is I don't want to back into that wire. This is where my Knipex hang. And I have a locking sheath because I bounced out once, then I started carrying the cheap pliers, then I got shocked, and then I just bought this heavier duty snap sheath. And then I've got my Gerber hatchet. It's got a metal piece on the end. I can tap down these fiberglass rods if they pop up. Another thing about this brake cable, I think I'm not saying that. I heard a guy tell me that, but it could just be the deer running through them. But I think it's just the deer that run through them and kind of pop these fiberglass rods up, especially when it's moist like it is in the springtime. And then I've got my rest of my fanny pack. I've been through that. I've shot some videos on it, so check that out. I'll try to link to it. Hasn't changed a whole lot. And then I did add both of these. That's just my camera bag. This stays in my car, but having assorted nuts and bolts to fix water tank issues, very handy. I've got a chain. I love this tool. Having an ammo box to put my chain in, absolute game changer. Keeping you dry. I have one in every one of my vehicles now. You take an old muddy chain off of something you've been dragging through the woods or through the mud, and then you got to stick that in your car, your tractor cab, or even on this four-wheeler. Having something to put it in is awesome and waterproof. You can wash your chain off later, whatever. I do have a hammer in here, big 3-pound hammer I've been using instead of that axe head. I was using it for my other stuff. And then just a bottle of, I think that's just crossbow and oil and gasoline because I ran out of diesel fuel. Probably old, but I'm using it up, and a pair of nippers for cutting up trees. 'Tis the season before the wasps get out. I like to go through, and any kind of thorn trees or stuff, I like to cut them and spray them, and I'm getting ready to hit that a little harder here pretty soon, but I want to leave that here. So anyway, I appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope you learned something from this video. Also I may do another video on this. Kev's never seen a bicyclist before. But I want to try out I think their Axle brand hearing protection Bluetooth earphones, but these are the JLab Sports. You can get them at Walmart. I've been using these for about a year and a half now, and get on my podcast, listen to my YouTube videos and all that kind of thing on there. So bicyclists. He's very excited. Like, oh, they're running. I'm like, yeah, it's because you're scaring them. They'll get over it. It's good training for them. They've never seen that. I don't mind my livestock being accustomed to other things, especially those bulls. You send those out to a new farm, dogs, kids, hot wires, bicyclists. You never know what they're going to run into, so getting a little exposure is good for them. But anyway, we got this fence hot. I'm going to head out. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, follow for more. Click your bell button if you want to be notified about everything we got going on here, and sure appreciate you.